It is sour. We fight our whole lives for non-sour milk. I'm going to put milk on it. Happy birthday, everybody, and welcome to Seriously, where we take cereals seriously. My name is Alex, and when I was in high school, I went with my band on a tour of Europe. During that entire 18-day trip, I did not go number 2. I don't know why. Maybe I was nervous about leaving my mark on a foreign continent. By the way, though, when I got home, I was able to go perfectly normally. It was a miracle. If you think that's a little bit of a gross story, get ready, because today's cereal may also be a little gross. Today on Seriously, we're going to go where no cereal eaters have gone before, into the realm of the sour. Remember when you were a kid and your parent only wanted you to eat healthy cereals, which inevitably meant boring cereals? Plain Cheerios, plain Rice Krispies, even Wheaties were approved, all because they weren't very sweet. Once in a while, you could sneak something in under the radar. Honey Nut Cheerios, we've talked about that. Kellogg's Raisin Bran, which is raisins covered in sugar. Or even kid-tested and mother-approved Kix. Regardless, though, it was clear. Sweet cereal was the enemy of the American parent. Now, sure, you could have pancakes covered in syrup. You could have oatmeal with lots of brown sugar in it. You could even have bacon and waffles and sometimes donuts. But sugary sweet cereal? No way, our parents said. Well, how would our parents have responded if instead of sweet cereal, we instead pulled out a box of sour cereal? That's the question we're going to explore today by looking at one of the most odd cereals released in the past several years, the inspiration for Seriously as a channel itself, Sour Patch Kids cereal. Now, when Sour Patch Kids cereal was first released, it was a surprise to a lot of people. But not to anyone who's been watching new grocery trends over the past few years, because if you'd been paying close enough attention, as of course I was at my supermarket, you would have noticed that something big was going on with Sour Patch Kids brand. Sour Patch Kids have always been up for new and creative ways to get people to eat their little candies. They've tried tons of different candy varieties, first of all, like Sour Patch Kids Extreme, Sour Patch Kids Tropical, or Watermelon, or Tricksters. My personal favorite lately, Sour Patch Kids Fire and Freeze. The Fire ones are a little bit spicy, and the Freeze ones are a milder take on one of my all-time favorite Sour Patch Kids experiments, Sour Patch Kids Coolers. Coolers tasted like Sour Patch Kids mixed with Vicks Vapo Rub. So if your kid is sick at home, just rub some Sour Patch Kids on their chest before bed. They'll be all better in the morning. Now, all of that, though, is still in the normal candy category. Over the past few years, the Sour Patch Kids brand has been attempting to branch out. You can now buy Sour Patch Kids popsicles and jelly beans and ice cream and Chips Ahoy cookies and Sour Patch Kids Go-Gurt and Sour Patch Kids Jell-O and Sour Patch Kids marshmallows. This push into Sour Patch Kids and every product imaginable led to its inevitable conclusion, the item we're going to be looking at today, Sour Patch Kids cereal. All right, here they are. We gotta start just by looking at the box. It looks pretty great. It is instantly recognizable as part of the Sour Patch Kids family. This actually wasn't the original design. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but the original packaging looked very different. It had this blonde kid sticking his tongue out. The kid, I've heard, is based on the creator's son, who must have been a real jerk. The more modern packaging, it really dives into the actual Sour Patch Kids shape themselves. Like, for instance, on this, see how this like black like splat is happening? Kind of looks like that 90s kid design aesthetic. It's not, because if you look closer, it's actually made up of the silhouettes of little Sour Patch Kids. Even the center of the O is that same shape. We got to talk about the shape for a second. I actually have a bag of the candy right here. I don't know, is this going to be easy to open? Yeah, let me get a few of these things out. All right, here is the shape. What an interesting shape. It tells us on the bag that they are kids shaped. But I've always wondered, if I hadn't been told what shape this was, would I know that this is supposed to be a kid? If I was part of the original design team, been tasked with coming up with a kid shape of candy, I don't think, given 1,000 tries, I would have ended up with this design. It is like Bart Simpson's head on a little mini snowman or something. But they are supposed to be held like this. Even so much that the Sour Patch Kids Wikipedia shows them upside down in their main image. The shape is iconic, but it's almost impossible to tell what this is. A kid's head, little arms, and then feet. The back of the box features like this Mad Lib style thing where you fill in the blank with adjectives and verbs. What kid is going to have a pen or pencil ready at the breakfast table to fill this thing out? Oh man, this box is wild. But let's remember the main barrier this cereal is attempting to break through. It is one of tradition, one of convention, ultimately of institution. They are trying to redefine how we've eaten cereals, how we've thought about cereals for decades. What do you think? Will this launch a new desire for sour cereal, creating sour milk? Friends, it's time to eat some cereal. Well, here we go. I am all ready. You know, I got my bowl, my spoon, my little Skimster milk, Skimmy Neutron here. We're going to dive in. We're going to give this thing a try. You know what? I'm a little nervous. First of all, because I've saved this box of cereal for a long time. Second of all, just unsealing it is a giant thing. I have kept this so carefully because I've been so intrigued about wanting to share this with everybody. So let's give it a try. Let's pour it out. Wow. Hey, first impression, these look perfect for Sour Patch Kids. Oh my goodness. They smell exactly like Sour Patch Kids. They smell fruity and sour right off the bat. I hope that you can see the shape. It is exactly what the shape is supposed to be. Maybe a little less detail. It's actually harder to figure out which way you hold it up. Most people hold it up, I was doing this before, so it looks like there's a skirt on the bottom. That's not right. That's the kid's head you're holding. I'm scared to touch it because it's like gonna get sour stuff on my hands. I want to try a few of these just dry. Blue is the newest member as far as the regular bunch of Sour Patch Kids. I think something like 2014, Blue was added. So new kid, let's eat that guy first. It really does have like a citrusy, sour bite to it right off the bat. I can't imagine these are different flavors from each other. No, I think they're all the same. You know, I'm eating the flavors one by one, and they're all okay. That's forgivable. Every cereal in the world is like that. In fact, if you know of a fruity variety cereal where there are actually different flavors in the bowl, I would be fascinated to hear what that is because I don't think it exists. If it does, it's off the beaten path. Hey, you know what? First of all, this is an old cereal. Some of you know that. It's not even on the market anymore. It's holding up very well. I know there's expiration dates on these things, but you don't need to worry about that because this has been wonderful to eat. It's still crunchy. It is sour. I'm going to put milk on it. That seems so risky. We fight our whole lives for non-sour milk. And right now, I'm going to risk putting the milk on it and making it sour. That's crazy. We don't realize this. Milk is a very sweet product. It has tons of lactose in it. That's been one of the major challenges for non-cow milk manufacturers. If they're using oats or whatever else, their almonds that they're using, they have to figure out a way to replicate the lactose sweetness that it gives us as human beings. I'm about to put that on top of a sour cereal. I'm excited. There's a little thrill going on in my heart. My heart rate is up. My Apple Watch might alert me that something is troubling me. But here we go. I'm going to put milk, and we're going to try these things with milk. I mean, this is the right... Post knows what they're doing with cereal. It felt right going in. It sounded like cereal. The shape holds up. It doesn't get overly glossy in the bowl. I'm actually now kind of excited. Let's give it a try. It is horrible. This is bad. It tastes wrong. It tastes like everything you do not want in a cereal. I mean, it's got to be on purpose. But how could you get through a box of this? Listen, I had one spoonful. I don't know if I can do it. I usually eat 3 spoonfuls of any cereal on Seriously. I've got to do it. Hey, give me strength. I'm looking up to the heavens. Give me strength to eat another one. I don't want to. Sometimes I take my kids to get their flu shots. They sit there and they're like, Dad, I'm real nervous about this. Now I know what they feel. It's like getting a flu shot. This is hard for me to eat. I don't want to let you down. It is yucky. It has the sour, it's like a bile taste. That sounds foul, and I apologize for that. I am so curious about the milk inside. I am so far away from finishing this bowl and getting to the milk. I'm trying to mix it up a little bit, so maybe I can just get a spoonful of milk. I don't like how it tastes in my mouth. I don't like the aftertaste. I don't like this at all. This is so fun. When I decided to make this YouTube channel, this was the dream. And this is the reality of it. Let me just try some milk, see what that's like. Yucky. Bad. Gross. It hasn't even been in there very long. Oh, man. I feel like I'm getting a headache. I'm not trying to be over dramatic here, but I feel like I'm taking one for the team. That's going to count. That milk is going to count as the third bite. I cannot do it. I want this garbage out of my life. It is a treasure that this exists. Whew. I'm going to take a second, collect myself. I might eat some Sour Patch Kids candies just to get the taste of Sour Patch Kids cereal out of my mouth as a chaser. That's how I'm going to use kids. Friends, that was a great experience. I was sitting here thinking about what I just ate, and a thought occurred to me. Do you think there were people out there that were actually hopeful that this would be good? I'd like to have that kind of optimism in my life. That's got to be a great way to live. Bad news, though, for those folks. This stuff is terrible. I said it before. I don't know if I could eat a whole... I couldn't even eat another bite. I will, however, give this cereal an incredibly high score for boldness and gumption. Here in America, you don't always have to create things that are good. You just have to make them memorable. And Sour Patch Kids cereal is certainly that. Just because Sour Patch Kids cereal is a terrible thing, it's not a total waste. Instead, let me actually make a bold suggestion. When cereals like this one's gone, but when stuff like this happens, don't poo-poo it. Instead, go out, get a box, half-gallon of milk, take it to the office, let your coworkers try it. They'll think you're zany and fun, you'll be a big hit. That'll be great. Have your kids try it. And then they'll make that cute sour face or weird face. It'll be adorable. In those regards, the fact that this cereal exists at all is a good thing. Maybe that's what we need more of in this world. Terrible things that are kind of fun. May that be said of all of us. Well, we've done it all. We talked, we ate, we were severely grossed out, and now it's enough. If you want to try today's cereal for yourself, you'll probably have to look on eBay because they haven't been on store shelves for a while. Still, I think it's worth the hunt. And if you haven't yet, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and leave a comment below about what cereal you think we should tackle in a future episode. Until then, never be soggy, my friends. Bye-bye.